Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everyone is inside and getting out or staying out of the snow and what's been a pretty active morning in weather. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are joining me, go ahead, drop a comment. Let me know two things. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know how much snow you have. If you've been able to measure it or give you a guesstimate, let me know what you're seeing where you live. We've been getting in reports all morning long. I have seen a good bit of snow across the area, so I'd love to see how much you're getting in your backyard. So again, drop a comment. Leave me where you're watching from and how much snow, and I'll be checking in with the comments here and there throughout this video. I do want to provide an update though on this winter storm as we continue to watch snow fall across the area. It should be tapering off here into the early afternoon, but we are still seeing those flakes fly. I'm going to start off with this picture. This is from over in York. Thanks to Amy for sending it in. Her and her dog are loving this winter weather. I know I had my dogs out at 4 a.m. this morning. We were running through the snow. They were having the best day ever. So hopefully you're able to stay home and get out with the pups. Here is a look at some of our snow totals that we've seen so far. Valley Green in York is one of the higher end totals that I've seen, 3.8 inches. I have seen some reports in York closer to that 4-inch mark, or actually hitting that 4-inch mark. Shippensburg, 3.6 inches, 3.5 for Ephrata and Lancaster County, 3.2 over in New Bloomfield, 2.6 inches in Thomasville. I saw Lewistown got about an inch, just over an inch, so as expected a little bit lower up towards Mifflin and Juniata counties, but the rest of our area, really things are looking pretty good. Most of the area was forecast to see 1 to 3, and we did bump Lancaster, York, and Lebanon up to that 3 to 5 range. So that is certainly verifying here in this forecast. So we're really happy with how things are shaping up. Of course, there's a little bit of snow still falling, so these totals could go up just a little bit. Again, if you're tuning in live, I see we've got some viewers out there. Drop a comment. Let me know how much snow that you have in your neck of the woods. I'd love to hear some of those reports that we're getting from across the area. Now, of course, the snow is great. Our dogs love them, but we are seeing some problematic spots out on the roadways. So here's a live look across the area, and some spots are looking better than others. You can see the South Bridge on 83, not looking that great. You can see we've got that slush and that icy kind of mess through the road there and the bridge, so that's something of concern. It looks like the highways out over in Shippensburg on 81 are faring fairly well. It looks just a little bit wet, but then over towards Camp Hill, we clearly have snow on the roads on 15, 30 in Lancaster. It looks wet, maybe some snow on some of those secondary highways. I know when I was out there driving earlier on this morning, it was not a great time. Things were really slow, things are really snowy, and roads weren't in great shape. So if you can, just hunker down indoors and stay off of some of the highways there so that you can stay safe and as safe as possible. Let's take a look out over in York Township. This is a look at our sky cam here. This camera is a little bit elevated, so it looks a little bit worse than what it actually is looking like on the ground. So on the ground it's a little bit more just some light snowfall action, not quite as intense as what we're seeing right here, but still we're seeing that snow and it is falling. Temperature wise in York, you've got 24 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 8 miles per hour rather, making it feel like it is 18. So the wind chill, a big factor along with the snow, and once the snow leaves, well, that wind chill is still going to be a factor for us today. So something we're keeping an eye on. Now, satellite and radar. Andrea and I have been really frustrated with this all morning long because when you look at it just like this, doesn't look like there's a whole lot of snow. It shows maybe a little bit of some, more moderate snow showers out in parts of Gettysburg. Looks like maybe over towards New Oxford, and maybe some light snow showers over in Lancaster. But we saw that York camera. We saw that it is in fact snowing. There's no snow on the radar here. Here's the problem. This snow, it's low to the ground, it's obviously falling, so the radar beam might not be hitting it. And part 2, or reason number 2, I don't think we're seeing it, these snowflakes have been really tiny, so they might be too small for radar to pick up on. So those are the two factors I think at play here, and why satellite and radar might be underestimating what we're actually seeing outside. So most of us are definitely seeing some of that snow falling, even though it's not showing up on radar here. Over the course of the afternoon, though, the trend is for this to pull out and for the snow to slowly taper off. So we should see some improvements going forward. There's that area of low pressure with this system. You can see a lot more of some of that wet weather and that snowy weather pushing up into New England right now. There have been some icy spots along and south of 95. I know Philadelphia had a little bit of icing, parts of New Jersey. Thankfully, none of that for us. And now This area of low pressure here, it's going to track to the northeast, east-northeast, and as it pulls away, it's going to pull that moisture away, and all of that wet weather kind of gets out of here. In the meantime, it does look like a lot of those alerts have been dropped to our south, but in south central Pennsylvania, in our neck of the woods, we still do have a winter weather advisory for Mifflin, Juniata, Perry, Dauphin, Cumberland, Franklin, and Adams counties. That is where we are expecting more so that 1 to 3 inch range of some of those snow totals. It does look like closer to 2 to 3 inches for many of you. Now, that winter storm warning is for Lebanon, Lancaster, and York counties. That's going to go until this afternoon at noon. Both of these advisories and this winter storm warning, they expire at noon. So give it about 2 more hours of watching this weather before we should start to see some improvements as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. Something I'll definitely be keeping an eye on as we go through the rest of the day. Here's what Futurecast shows you. This is noon. Most of the area is starting to dry out. I think we'll dry out from west to east and we get some improvements. Clouds still hanging around, of course, around lunchtime. As we go through the afternoon, temperatures don't climb a whole lot. We'll maybe get some peaks of sunshine through the afternoon. As you can see, we are mostly dry around 3 p.m., but things certainly still on the chillier side. Skies will continue to clear overnight and we'll be seeing plenty of sunshine tomorrow. Now, when it comes to those travel delays, we should start to see some improvements as we go through the afternoon. Still some good delays this morning. I've heard a lot of those back roads are still in pretty unsettled shape, and lots of snow is still on it, so that's likely still the case as you're out and about. Now, as we go through the afternoon, that snow stops falling, our crews are able to, catch up. We'll start to see some better conditions as you're out on the roadways, and that will continue as we go overnight. Things should be looking a little bit quieter as we go on into the future, so that's something we'll be watching. If you have any questions for this forecast, go ahead, drop them below, and I'll keep monitoring the comments. I can see Christopher is joining us. Hi, Christopher. He's over in York. I hope you're staying safe as well. I haven't seen many other comments, so I just want to make sure if you do have questions, you can ask them, and I will do my best to answer them as we go through this forecast here. Looking ahead, let's move on with this forecast. I want to talk about the winds, because these winds are going to be quite gusty as we go on through this afternoon. Winds picking up 20 to 25, even as high as 30 miles per hour today. They could ease a little bit overnight, but then they pick right back up tomorrow, and these wind gusts are really going to make our temperatures feel pretty chilly. So here is one of our feature casts, and this is our wind chill and temperature. So our temperature, what your thermometer reads, is going to be in white, and your wind chill, what it feels like, is going to be in orange. So you can see here, this is Tuesday at 5 p.m., so later on this evening. Temperatures are in the 20s. We are feeling like the teens when you factor in those winds and that wind chill. As we go overnight and into your Wednesday morning, it's 15 degrees. That's what our forecast low is for Harrisburg, but it feels like 5 in Harrisburg when you factor in even just a little bit of a breeze. And I do think some spots are going to be feeling closer to 0 or -0. So that is going to be some pretty serious wind chill for us. We don't have any advisories or alerts in place for the National Weather Service, but I still think you should be taking those precautions. Maybe drive your kids to the bus stop tomorrow, stay in the warm car as long as possible, and certainly make sure you've got the gloves, the hat, and all of those wintertime layers. As we go into the afternoon for your Wednesday, it's not a whole lot better. You can see actual temperatures stay in the 20s all day long, and then those wind chills are hanging out in the teens through the afternoon. So really going to be a bitterly cold one as we go on through tomorrow. Things should slowly improve through Thursday, though it doesn't last long. Take a look at the temperature trend. We're near 30 today. We're down into the 20s for Wednesday, back up to the 30s for Thursday and Friday, and then 20s as we go into Saturday. We do have a fairly active pattern with some good swings in our forecast over the next couple of days. I'm getting a couple of comments here. We've got Randy, he's over from Franklin County, saying good morning. Hi, Randy. And let's see, Nancy wants to know, do I expect roads to freeze tonight or tomorrow? And I do think, given our temperatures, Nancy, that's definitely going to be a possibility. Here's your full forecast, and I saw another question about Friday's snow, so I will talk about Friday's snow certainly. Your temperatures are dropping. They're not above freezing right now, and they're going to stay below freezing as we go overnight. So if there are any wet spots or slick spots, I do anticipate them to freeze as we go overnight. So we'll be keeping an eye on that potential for sure for tomorrow morning and that refreeze as we go overnight. So definitely a concern and a good point to bring up. Thank you so much. I see Joe, he said, what is going on with that Friday snow? And Joe, let me tell you, we are looking at, it looks like more of a clipper type system headed our way. It doesn't look like like a big snowstorm. Now, of course, we don't get snowstorms all that often anymore. This one felt pretty big, even though it was only a couple of inches. Looking ahead, it does look like some light snow showers Friday into Saturday. Saturday, maybe more of some of that lake effect northwesterly flow behind that system. It does look like we could get some at least minor accumulations out of it. I will be honest, we haven't deep dived into that forecast quite yet because we've been concerned with this first system on deck. So that's something that Braden will be deep diving into tonight, Andrea and I tomorrow morning for that next system. But it does look like at least some light snow showers are possible for your Friday. And then we'll keep with that chance for those flurries and the snow showers with that northwesterly flow behind it. And as you can see here with the forecast, it gets really cold again behind the system. So Saturday, we are only up to, oh boy, look at me messing around with my computer here. Saturday, we are only up to 25 in the afternoon time, and Sunday's not much better. A high of 30, morning lows in the teens. It's going to still be really breezy through the weekend, so the wind chill factor, once again, really impressive through the weekend. So not only is it that snow chance, it's that wind chill factor once again, looking ahead to the long range. Thanks for that question. If anybody else has any questions, go ahead and drop them below. Again, I'd love to know what snowfall totals are looking like where you live. Let me go back. We'll go back a couple of slides here, and we will go back to radar, and we'll take a look at the system and what everyone is looking at. Here we go. So you can see we've got a little bit of some snow activity and some light snow showers, or more impressive snow showers, really pushing through parts of Gettysburg from Oxford up over towards East Berlin, Roller, seeing some of that light snowfall. And just because you aren't in this one little snow band, it doesn't mean you're not seeing snow. As mentioned, the radar really has been underestimating a lot of this activity. So a lot of our area is certainly seeing the snow. I'm not complaining. I think it's kind of fun. I don't see any other questions, so if we don't have any more, I am going to wrap things up for today. Of course, we will have much more information up on fox43.com/weather. Meteorologist or Chief Meteorologist Braden Long will be in later on this afternoon for your 4 and 5 o'clock shows. We are back to normal shows today. I know yesterday was a little bit wacky with some sports programming, but we're back to normal today. Andrea and I back with you tomorrow morning. Hopefully you are able to stay safe, enjoy the snow, send us your snow pics. We love to see them. Have a great day.